What it is, what it ain't, and what it does. How y'all doing? I hope everybody having a cool day today. As you can see, it's beautiful outside. Make sure you be outside to get some of this fresh air, some of this good sun while it's here, but this was something that I was talking to my mom about. I think this is why I wanted to do this video because I'm like going the American dream. We were talking about the American dream because as grown-ups, you have these talks about your kids, your grandkids, what they should be doing, how they should be when they growing up, going to school, going to college, trying to get a good education in order, to have the things that they need in order to take care of themselves, basically. And like I was telling my mom, like that's sounds exactly like the American dream. It's like, nah, that's not the American dream. That's just what you should be doing. And it's like, is it the American dream? What's up with it, awoken one? What's up with it? Balance energy. And it's like, is it the American dream or like, what is it? Okay. Do we have the American dream and then we say it in different ways to make it sound different? To make it sound different, to make it sound more appealing? Is we like selling this American dream to each other all the time? Is this just like what we do? So I put together some videos of some people talking about the American dream and how they feel about it and how they feel about it. Let's go and we just gonna jump right in.
Long enough to retire, and I don't care about owning a house, and I don't care about starting a family, and I don't care about taxes, and I don't care about debt. At the end of the day, when we die, you can't take none of this material stuff with you. You can't take none of this debt. Shoot, somebody said you want to leave America to rack up all the debt you could possibly have and then just leave and never come back. I'm thinking about
Wow.
doing that. And it's nothing wrong with filing for bankruptcy. And it's nothing wrong. In credit score, no other countries has credit scores. I feel like I need my people to break out of that. Who gives a fuck about a credit score right
I
now?
do. I'd
Or
say
debts
I
and shit
do.
too. Who gives a fuck? I don't want to take out another credit card because I got debt. So fucking what? This country gonna fall apart real soon, any day now. Them debts ain't gonna matter when it ain't no country no more. Who cares about debts? The United States government is the billions of dollars in debt. They steal our money all the fucking time. These people be having
I
billions and
think she
millions of
was gonna
dollars
be
in debt. They
cursing
go take out a
early.
business and they take out loans to bail them out. And then I was telling my mom about, I don't feel bad about taking out a credit card or a loan. This motherfucking country been robbing me blind, robbed our ancestors blind. I don't care about debt. I don't care about starting a family. I don't care about a house. I don't care about none of that shit. I care about being happy and be able to feed myself and having a roof over my head up until I leave America. I care about being happy and having some friends and having some lovers. I care
She
about
giving
actually
people
smiling and being
ideas.
fucking happy in this fucking earth and not waking up dreading to wake up. The fuck? I don't give a
Man,
fuck about
huh?
none of this American dream bullshit. It
Not
was all
dreading to
a lie.
wake up. Hey, that's crazy, right? Because that I was thinking about that. I was like, dang, when you die, right? You have to have life insurance. You have to have money put aside when you die. Like they charge you to come into the world and come into society at birth. They charge your parents buku amounts of money for you to even come here, and then they charge you to die also. Cause it's like now, we don't like people burying their family members in the backyard after they die. No, we built a place for everybody to go, and we gonna charge you thousands of dollars for that also. Like it baffles me because a lot of times, not having life insurance when we do pass away. You see people having car washes. You see people having, out there with the cups on the standing in the middle of the street asking for money in order to just help bury a person. Like this, like it's crazy to think about though. It's crazy to think about. Is this what we doing?
So
Okay.
you gonna take 40% of my paycheck in taxes? Most definitely. And then after you tax my check, you gonna tax me on anything I spend. You this close to getting ready to chase the you know, spend that. I gotta pay taxes on anything that exists forever, anytime, always, every day, or else I fucking get my shit took or go to prison. Do I own anything? No, y'all don't own shit. It's just a big lending system. We own everything and we just sell you the illusion that you got something. You don't have shit. Miss a tax payment, I'm taking that shit. Miss another one, I'm taking your fucking life. You're going to prison. Don't like it?
Man.
Leave.
Wow. Like, okay, so I got to pay taxes when I buy the car, and then I'm paying I'm paying taxes out of my check as I'm even working, and then when I go to the store and buy stuff, I still got to pay taxes. It's like, yeah, what you thought? This the dream. You feel me? Don't you want to have something? It's gonna cost to have anything. Like, it's weird, right? Because uh like working on the job with men, and you see men, like a lot of us, we like work, and like you'll hear some of them say, like, I've been on this job for 20 years. Like I missed my kids growing up. I missed graduations. I missed basketball games. I missed all these different things, but I was able to pay for it. I had to work. I had to pay for those things, but I missed a lot of things. It's like, dang, is that cool or not? It's like, what makes that cool?
Hey, listen, so I mentioned this before, right? But I can't help but sit around and think sometimes about how programmed we are as people. Like, our whole life has to evolve around our occupation, our
You
job, per
still
se.
have to
You know what I
pay
mean?
tax
Not the other way around.
plus
You got to make
tax.
time for your family. You got to make time for vacation. Shit, you even got to make time to eat. You got to make time to go to the gym. You got to make time for everything. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? All because you have a job and you spend most of your time at your job. There's another thing, right? So, again, I spoke about this before, but I want to revisit the fact that, there's a lot of people who are
And don't pay
struggling
it
to,
back.
to, to
Dang.
pursue housing or just to keep a roof over their head, right? Let's just say rent on average is
LSC
1,500 a
scam, huh?
month. Let's say that's average, right? Now, again, we could talk about how much you get paid or whatever, but let's bypass that and just focus on the fact that you have to work in order to pay that $1,500 a month, right? So, which means
Oh, we
you are
built
at work
again.
at
Resist.
least 60% of the or 70% of the time. You're not even home. So you're paying that much money just to have a roof over your head, and you're not even there enough. You're at work most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Furthermore, another analogy I can use is the fact that if you have a new car and you're paying a note on that car, you're literally paying a note on that car just to go to work where you're at 60, 70% of the time.
Bootstraps finally.
You understand what I'm saying?
Snapped
It,
apart.
it all doesn't make sense. Like, you're not even spending enough time in that car that you're paying a note on. You're not even spending enough time in that car that you're paying insurance on.
Wait, I didn't think about that, right? Because if you think about it, like, especially if you work in the morning and you get off later in the day, because like a lot of people I know, they work like 10-hour days, like 8 to 10, sometimes 12, and then you come back home, you so tired, you go to sleep. So the car is mainly just used for you to go back and forth to work, or to take that work money and go buy food. I'm just saying, which is crazy.
And the insurance, quote
He
unquote,
said he
is
sounds
just in case
childish.
something happens. And you have
Childless?
to pay for that too.
Bro sounds childless.
We are literally here
What do you mean by that? What do you
working
mean?
just to pay everybody else. Everybody else is more entitled to our money but us. Everybody is more entitled to our money.
I'm gonna tell you, right? That's what get me, right, when I see a lot of youngsters like out here struggling and they don't have kids. It's like, dang, like, man, that's when wait, something is wrong. Because if you working a job and you don't got no kids, you struggling by yourself, it's like people that I think that's why people link up. You got to get roommates and all these different things. Now I seen grown people like 40, 50 years old with roommates, living in the place with roommates. And I'm going, dang, I don't know if I could do that anymore. But I'm like going, it's still a thing. Like, why you can't even make enough money in order to have your own spot.
us, should I say. Literally. Because every time you get paid, you got to dish out. You got to dish out. You
Not
got to pay rent.
myself.
You
Yeah,
got to pay bills.
exactly.
You got to pay credit cards.
That's I think that's what a lot of people do. They work to buy their house for their kids and keep it going. But it'd be kind of dope, like when you doing that, because most of the people that I know that bought a house as their like while their kids was coming up, their kids followed that notion and did the same thing, and it worked out good. Like it worked out good. They didn't have to even help them. They just taught them the method, and they was able to do it.
Gotta pay condo. You gotta pay this. Every time you get paid, you have to give your money to somebody else. Not to mention taxes. Let's not even forget about that.
Man,
This is why
why?
I
Wait,
truly
hold on.
understand why
Let
so
me
many
say something, right? What do you mean every time you get paid? Like you already know what you're getting paid. Half the time, that money is spent before it even hits your account. Like most of that shit is spent before it hits your account because it's like I got this bill, I got that bill, I got rent, I got this, I got that. Bam, and hopefully my next check I get to keep it to myself. But this one right here, it's already spent. Like period, point blank.
people are fatigued, so many people are tired, so many people are overwhelmed and don't want to work anymore. It's not because that we're spoiled. It's not because we're entitled. It's not because that we're lazy. They like to use that a lot when it comes to Americans. It's the fact that the whole American dream that we had 40 years ago, you know what I'm saying? That you must work hard in order to
Cedric
get where you
messed
want to
up the
be and in
money
order to be
systems too.
successful. That's a
Dang,
lie.
crypto.
That no longer applies to Americans today. That no longer applies to anyone. It's never about working hard. It's about working smart. Because
Somebody said he need to blame his parents for his failures in life. Don't say that. Don't say that. He ain't failing. He got
you
on
know
gold
what working
chains.
hard is
I
doing
think
for
they real.
everybody? It's sending them to the grave quicker. That's what it's doing. I cannot tell you how many people, how many stories I done heard about somebody who has worked hard all their lives. And then when they finally retire, they die just a year after retirement. Didn't even enjoy the fruits of their labor. You want to know what was keeping them alive? Working endlessly. That was literally keeping them alive, functioning.
Hey, I hear him on that because I remember when I was doing plumbing, and like that's what a lot of the plumbers used to do. They didn't work so long that once they retire, they die like a year or two later after they retire. Like I see it, and I'm not gonna lie. Like with a lot of men, I see that. Like in general, with a lot of men, I know people I can speak on right now, but I'm not going to. But I'm saying after they retire, a lot of times if they're too old, like it's like it's nothing else to do but die. Okay, like give me something to do type shit. And most people that I see that retire, they be on the job, they be on another job. They retire and then have to work another job. So it's like, what's the use of retiring if you got to work another job? Like unlike my brother, you feel me? He retired young, like early 40s, and like, ain't got to work no more. He tried to work. He said, "Nah, I ain't doing it." You feel me? Like I'm gonna just go to the gym and stuff like that.
They brain was wired to not comprehend anything else other than them working endlessly.
Own personal.
That's sick. That's sick. Now when they're not now that they're not working anymore, they don't even know their purpose. They don't even feel they have a purpose because
Get a
work
real
has
job.
become their whole entire identity.
You go for
So they end up dying.
that. There.
End up dying. Imagine that. Imagine working
You
fucking
go for
40
that
years of your
there.
life. And then whatever you have left, you can't even enjoy it because you died. Because you done gave 40
Hang on.
years of your life to a job. Come on now.
You can't even die for free. It costs to die. All right. Yeah. That's the crazy part. I wonder when did that even start becoming a big thing. Like it costs to die. Like it's trippy because if you go back and you watch the B movie, right? I remember when they were going to try to first get their jobs, and they both wanted two different jobs. The job that he wanted was was they put on this hat and it got a finger on it, and to get the honey, like after the honey is poured, to get that last drip of honey off of the honey jar. He said that's what I want to do, and he told him that job closed. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to do something else." He said, "Now it's open." And he said, "Oh yeah, I want it." He said, "No, it's closed again." And then he said, "Oh, it's open." And he was like, "I want it." And like he got that job, but he was like, "Wait, hold on, why the job keep opening and closing?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "A bee quits, a bee leaves, one dies." He was like, and anything, all these things are happening at the same time. So it just jobs come open because somebody probably passed away, and it's like, dang, like, it's just part of it.
We were sold a lie. We were told that if we go to college, we get a better education, and we just work really hard,
But
we can have the American dream.
Dying to live.
That's just not the
living to
case
die.
anymore.
That's crazy.
That's not the case anymore. I did that. I got a better education. I got a job that's supposed to be good. I worked hard. And honestly, I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm probably the brokest I've ever been. Inflation is out of control.
More money,
Inflation
more
is the problem. Our wages are not keeping up with the cost of living.
No, they're not.
Gas is $5 a gallon. Rent is astronomical. Forget buying a house. It's not possible. Groceries, take out a loan. Take out a loan if you want to buy groceries on a monthly basis. And I have a child, so I have to buy groceries on almost a weekly basis, if not, maybe every 2 weeks. It's just we can't keep doing things the way that our parents, our grandparents did things. We have to change something. Something has to change.
The American dream is dead. You know what I mean? What the income that your grandpa used to make to be able to take care of your grandmother and all the kids in the house and buy 2 cars and feed, that's no longer. You know what I mean? So when people tell me I need a man to pay all the bills, you can't find hardly nobody to pay all the bills unless you're working crazy hours, over 40 hours a week easily, or 2 or 3 jobs. Other than that, unless you by yourself, you got no other choice. But the American dream is dead, man. It's more like the American nightmare.
Yeah, for a lot of people. And I don't see y'all saying nothing about this young white girl saying it right here. Said that other young black dude was saying something like, it was like, hey, maybe his parents and different things like this. Wait, I'm saying, what's up with that?
Know why they call it the American dream?
Why?
Because that shit ain't fucking real. It's literally an illusion that they created for us. Know why?
On June.
And it's crazy because, like I said, like we get it and we pass it on down the generation to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. When in reality, if you think about it, it's 50-50 because the American dream worked for some, but it don't work for others. So it's like 50-50. It's playing both sides. That's how I feel. Let's see. Then people could actually live off a normal job. Yeah, that when I think of my grandparents, they were able to live and buy houses like easily with the jobs that they have. Like my grandfather on my dad's side, he owned a farm. My grandfather, he bought a house. He bought a couple of them actually, but I'm just saying they were able to do that. And then people say, well, they were able to do that with 2 kids. No, he had 10 kids. He was able to do it with 10 kids. And that's 10 kids in the same house. I don't know about the other kids that was outside the house. It was more than that, but I'm just saying he was able to do that and take care of that many kids at the same time.
First, the Trump administration changed some rules on Medicaid
Personal
recipients. If you are receiving Medicaid or you know someone who's receiving Medicaid, there are 3 very important dates that you have to know about. The new Medicaid work rule is going to negatively impact a lot of people. I don't even have any words right now for how I feel about this administration at this moment after reading this. The 80-hour mandate. Able-bodied adults aged 19 to 64 must prove they work, volunteer, participate in job training, or attend school for a minimum of 80 hours per month to retain their health coverage. Recipients are required to submit paperwork to re-verify their eligibility.
Wait, hold on. If this is the greatest place in the world, Why do other places have free health care and we don't? Like, it's free health care for everybody. Like, what's up with that?
Every 6 months. There are some exceptions, though. Pregnant women, primary caregivers of children under 14 or disabled relatives, individuals who already meet the work requirements for SNAP benefits. The 3 dates that Medicaid recipients need to pay attention to. This September 2026. States must begin mandatory public outreach to notify enrollees of the upcoming changes. January 1st, 2027. The work requirements officially take effect across the country. January 1st, 2028. The initial self-attestation grace period ends and strict physical verification documentation becomes fully mandatory. I am livid because there are people who might be physically able to go out there and work 10, 15, 20 hours a week. But mentally, they're not.
They are mentally
This
unstable.
is going to harm so many people because they won't be eligible for their benefits. Rural, heartless, and they just don't give a shit.
They ain't been caring. Michael Jackson said it. You know, they don't really care about us.
I don't want to be presumptuous and act like you know who I am, but I wrote a song. It went viral over the past few days, so you might have seen my face before. But I'm not here to talk about the actual song, just the message behind it. The only message was that we're not supposed to live paycheck to paycheck. If you have a job that was deemed important enough to delegate to somebody else, your job should pay you a living wage. People used to buy their houses working at Sears. Now minimum wage isn't even enough to split a 2-bedroom apartment and still be able to afford food. And that's not your fault. That's not Mexicans' fault. It's not poor people's fault. The people that we trusted to elect in our best interest are selling us, bro. And I'm not talking us like black people, all of us. And we shouldn't be mad at each other. We should be very fucking upset with them. And if you're one of those people that's watching this right now thinking, well, that's not me, I have a good job, I make this much money and I can afford everything. With the money you make now, you used to be rich. I don't want to be...
It always takes me back to what dude said on the song. He said, man, in order for somebody to win, somebody got to lose. That's just what it is.
Making $2,500 this month. What I do to this money? What a minute. I need to do payments. Oh, my God. Oh, my life, brother. $1,700 for rent. That's a lot of money. The owner to the building, he got rich quick, and I continue poor. That's not right. $200 for electricity? No, that's a lot of money too. $100 for my cell phone from Cricket. Sometimes I don't have a service, but I need pay anyway.
I don't care. That shit was funny. He said, $100 for my cell phone from Cricket. Sometimes it don't work, but I got to pay anyway. Anybody that knows when Cricket first came out, you couldn't go outside of your city with that phone and it works. After a while, you know, after they got a little movement, they was able to, like, you had to pay like a little bit extra charge in order to be able to go out of town with your phone. But you used to couldn't leave out of, like, we was in Fresno. I couldn't leave out of Fresno with my Cricket phone. Like, it wouldn't work.
$500 for child support. Oh my God. Why no use protection? I never used it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, right? I ain't gonna lie. My kids, because I mainly got all boys. I got one girl, all boys, one girl. And once they hit their teen years, and I knew I felt like they was fucking. It's like, hey man, you using condoms, right? Like, don't use condoms because you for not to get pregnant. It's to protect yourself from any diseases, to protect yourself from the having a baby at a young age also. Which is crazy because, yeah, all my kids, none of them didn't have kids at a young age. They was already 21. Yeah, so it's like crazy, bro. You gotta tell them, though.
Oh, my gosh. And only $2 for me. That's my American dream. Oh, my God, what I do to this life. Oh, my God.
What I do to this life?
Americans may finally be able to save money after these key policies were implemented to help normal people build wealth. Americans have long struggled to save money caused by stagnant wages, a rough economy, and the rapidly rising cost of living.
I gotta see this. He said, I wonder who racist folks gonna blame for America's problems.
Results,
they ain't gonna blame Donald Trump.
The American dream is no longer achievable. However, all of that now seems to be turning around as new data shows younger Americans are taking advantage of policies that have resulted in their savings accounts, specifically 401k retirement accounts, spiking up in value in recent years, with American households now saving a whopping 10 times more than what they were 50 years ago, and the new generation of Gen Z and millennials holding twice as much in savings as their parents did at the same age. All of this is only possible thanks to the incredible policies for 401k accounts, including employer matching programs where companies double a set amount of money their employees place in their 401ks, with everything being completely tax-free.
You gotta be sleep to believe it. They want everybody sleep. Like, on everything. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Thanks, Master Creator, for donating, bro. It's always appreciated.
Yeah. But you have to just move with that mindset. This American dream shit is bullshit. How you buy a house over here, right? You gotta pay taxes for it. You gotta ask to put a pool in your own house. They gotta tell you cut your grass.
That's crazy.
My nigga.
And that's your house.
And this is my house.
But in Africa, it's way different.
Africa, I buy land right now. I don't gotta do shit. It could be there 3 years. It could be full with grass. Nobody gonna try to ask me to cut shit. Nobody gonna tell me pay tax.
So basically,
this my shit.
Basically, you trying to say we got full ownership of Africa.
Yeah,
so we don't really, own the house.
This is bullshit.
I mean, nigga, this is not our shit. Like,
it's not. I'm not keeping it about. I was born here, but it's not my shit, bro.
Yeah, it's not our shit.
I don't care if niggas be like, oh, to go back to Africa. Nigga, fuck out of here, bro.
A phrase my dad always say, he's prepared, because if one day they say, all Africans gotta go back to where they come from, he's already prepared.
But you always gotta be.
They got that. Now, it's crazy because they got that PTSD in them. They already know it's coming one day.
But one thing.
Right, go back to Africa. Like, that is trippy, though. You pay for it. Like, I remember our last spot we stayed in, the owner sold it, and they started to do upgrades on it. And I guess the city seen them, and the city came out and put a stop to all that shit. Said, nah, you ain't cleared none of this with us. You could this, I know it's yours, but you can't do this, or this without telling us what you gonna do. Matter of fact, that fence you put up around there, take that shit down. They had to take that shit down. I said, golly, he didn't do it. It was a minute before they started doing work on it. Like, you got to get shit cleared with the city.
The new American dream.
Make your money in the States, live elsewhere, and only come back when you have to. Once you start traveling, family, you realize there's so much better places than the States, than they make us believe. Food is healthier, quality of life is peaceful. So that's the new. Make your money in the States, live elsewhere,
Trump is the beast,
only come back
AKA
when you have
little
to.
horn of the most powerful.
The new American dream.
That's wild. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to. Like that. That'd be crazy too, because a lot of us Americans, like, we, for one, don't too much go outside of our city. If we look like if I look at a lot of my elders, they don't go outside the city as often. Every once in a while, they ain't trying to even move outside of where they're at. And it's like, dang, like, I feel like you got to venture off sometimes and see the world if you can, like, especially if you're young. Like, that's one thing that I tell my kids, like, I want you to venture off. Go see everything if you can. Don't just be stuck here, because then if you stuck here, you're going to be stuck with the mentality everybody got to be in here and staying here, of just, it's like, get out, see the world.
You can't be mad at the truth. And this brother right here told nothing but the truth.
Just 30 years ago, someone could be working at Macy's, marry someone who's working at Lowe's, 40 hours a week, get married, buy a house, and raise 3 children. The American dream. And pull that off in their late 20s or early 30s. Now, we created an economy where none of the essential jobs for Gen Zers can afford to have access to the American dream in a reasonable time frame. They might be able to save and get access to it at 57, but what the fuck You want them to live in an apartment and sacrifice till they're 57? When every other generation before us got to have access to it in their late 20s, early 30s, if you f***ed up, maybe late 30s, you shouldn't have to be a f***ing brain surgeon and a top YouTuber getting married to buy the average house and have one child. When just 30 years ago, a high school dropout who's like, I'm just going to live my life and get a job down the street could raise a family on that. That's the American dream. That's where the boomers get that f***ing work hard, pull yourself up. No shit. If you could drop out of high school and go work 50 hours a week at a factory and break your fucking back, but you bought a house and raised 3 kids with a stay-at-home mom, you should be proud of that. We're not trying to take that from you. That doesn't exist anymore. You have to be extraordinary today to live an ordinary life.
Wow. You gotta be extraordinary. That is wow. Like, cause I had a friend that bought a house out here, and it was a 1-bedroom here in San Diego. Well, it's in La Mesa, and he paid $735,000 for a 1-bedroom house. Look, it don't got the backyard is only from like where I'm sitting to right there. It's this big, and there's no front yard, and it's not even really a house because it's almost like a condo, like how they have duplexes, but they're apart, and they're not together, they're apart, but they all close together in like the same little complex, and it's like 4 of them. And he paid $750,000. Man, I was looking in like Atlanta and like Georgia and in Texas and in different places. I seen like 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom houses for like $500,000. I'm going, dang, but we'll stay here and do that $750 on a 1-bedroom house though. That shit is wild.
New younger generations are just so lazy. Nobody wants to work anymore. You're so entitled. Nobody wants to work. Like, no, Margaret, nobody wants to go work these fuck-ass jobs for the fuck-ass pay that we're getting in return these days. I don't know, man, is it really that hard of a concept to grasp for all the older generations, especially, the boomers who went and fucked up our lives and made it impossible for us to get ahead financially, that we're ready to work. We're down to work hard, okay? But you know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna overwork ourselves to death for like fucking $14 an hour. Especially because a majority of these jobs, especially since COVID, in order to maximize profits, they've been reducing the amount of workforce that every single one of these companies needs. So the people that they do hire, one person ends up doing the work that like 3 people should be doing, but they're not being paid.
Well, hold on, I gotta say that I like what you said. Living a minimum lifestyle is actually a good thing. It teaches you to be happy with what you have. Yeah, a lot of times we be wanting what everybody else have, because I think when you see people with these things, they be looking happy. They be looking happy, and like, I'm gonna tell you, this is what makes me laugh. It's like, you see everybody, they got the Lambos, they got the Corvettes and all these different things, right? Do you remember did you see the Corvettes from like the 80s? Like, if you've seen a Corvette, you will not see nobody drive an 80s Corvette right now. But it'd be weird because, at that time they spent all that money on it, and then 10, 20 years later, it's worth like probably 20-30% of what you paid for it. Like in reality, like, it'd be the weirdest thing, but we still do it though. We still do it because we want the good shit.
For 3 people, they're still expected to do the work of 3 or 4 people, but only get paid $12 to $14 an hour. Yeah, that bullshit ain't happening anymore. In case you want to know how absolutely fucked this is, we're going to do a little bit of math, okay? If you are lucky enough to work a job that pays you $20 an hour, okay? That's 20. All right, remember back in the day when everybody was like, oh my God, like, could you imagine if we could work for $15 an hour? That would be so much helpful. So this is going to be based on $20 an hour. And if you were lucky enough that $20 an hour job pays you full-time hours, meaning 80 hours a paycheck, your monthly net after taxes is roughly anywhere between $2,600 to $2,750 a month, okay? You got places out here charging $2,000 for rent. Explain to me how that's supposed to work when the federal fucking minimum wage is still technically $7.25 an hour. If $20 an hour full-time is not even close to allow you the ability to pay your own bills and live in a one-bedroom, or hell, even these days, maybe even a studio apartment, and then how do you expect anybody to want to go work a really physically and mentally draining job for like $12 an hour part-time?
Somebody said entitled moron, demand $20 an hour. No, it's crazy because like when my son, he just came back from Texas like a few months ago, and he was working in Texas, and the job that he was doing was only paying $12 an hour. He came to San Diego, got the same job, and is paying $25 an hour. So I don't know. The cost of living be different in places. So the pay be like totally different. But he like, dang, I'm making like double. I'm making literally double than what I was there.
You must be
for the
out
same
of your damn
job.
mind. That will then force you to have to go take on either another job or a side hustle or go drive for DoorDash or do whatever you got to do on the side just to be able to make.
Oh yeah, they gon' what's the name? Somebody said I think the immigrants coming to the U.S. at extreme rates is messing up the wages too, because they would rather hire the immigrants because they know they can pay them less and they will do more work for less. Yeah, and plus a lot of times they ain't got to give them no benefits. Sometimes, depending on who they are, if they got paperwork or if they don't. Like, they don't have to give them all them benefits and different things.
Me. That's not
and
even
pay them
have
less.
enough to even have a little bit of a nest egg. No, you have to go take on additional work just to be able to keep your head above water. And to add insult to injury, you have all these financial or motivational gurus on social media saying things like, no, you just got to put
Somebody said, go and step up your skill set. That's crazy. That is true in a sense. In a sense, it is. You gotta like better yourself. Like me, I done did learned so many different types of trades. But I guess I just never wanted to be stuck in just one and working that for the rest of my life. Like,
work when you're done with your job. You got to come home and work on your dreams. Bitch, when do I have time at home to work on my dreams? Explain that to me, because from the moment I wake up, I have to leave my apartment, have to spend the entire fucking day working, to then come back home to have maybe enough time to shit, shower, shave, and go to sleep before having to wake up and do it all over again. Please explain to me what.
But we get used to that repetition, and we'll do the same thing for 20 years. Go to the job, come home, lay down. It'd be weird though, because you get off work, you come home, you take your shower, and you try to get, you eating stuff, but you try to get that little time of TV time that you can get of watching. Sometimes you'll fall asleep during the movie, but I'm just saying, you try to get that little bit of time into yourself. Like, I think that's what trips me out is nobody has times for their self. You don't have time to just, be to yourself, sit right here in your backyard and just breathe in the fresh air. You don't have no time for that. You have no time to spare for yourself. It's always giving your time, sacrificing yourself for everything else.
Work on my own fucking dreams. This is why you're seeing so many videos of people talking about how there's no way this system can continue. There's no way we can continue to live in a system where the prices for literally everything keep skyrocketing and nobody is increasing the pay of our.
Look, I will say this. The system. We were designed not to stop the system or fight against the system. We were designed to act accordingly to those who even went against the system. So anytime we hear these people talking about the system and it's not working for them, sometimes we get mad, like, nah, you got to do this. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Go get a job. And some of them can't. But it's like we already designed to fight against the ones that's fighting against the system. I'm like going, dang, this is the illusion right now. We designed to fight against the ones that's fighting. So we try to keep the system what it is. We know the system ain't working for some, but who gives a fuck? Long as it's working for you, right? Long as it's working for you, it's okay, because you were able to do it. We're talking about a 50-50 system that was designed to work for this half, but not designed to work for this half. So this is how we are as people. This is why I say we as people we lost, because we designed to go against the ones that the system is not working for and tell them that, no, the system should work for you. Look what I did. And it's like, okay, on the other side of that, the system is going to do the total opposite for another person. It's going to work for you. Sometimes it works. How is that? It's going to work for you, but the system don't just work for everybody. That's how I feel.
Or jobs. Eventually, this is going to fucking just blow up in our faces. Because think about it. If every single company decided, you know what, it's time to pay everybody a wage that's going to allow them to work one job, be able to work on their dreams, be able to own a home. So you know what, let's all start paying our people $30 an hour. All of these businesses are going to collapse. They're going to close. They're not going to have the ability to pay these people those salaries, which means they're all going to close down and the whole system fucking collapses. So it doesn't work. We are screwed. And I know it worked before, okay, because at one point in our country's history, one person in a family, okay, just one, not both parents, one parent could go work a fucking job for like 35, 40 hours a week, just one job, and be able to pay for a home with a car
and
be
take care of
able
everybody.
to have 2 kids, and the mom could stay at home and could work on the home, and the husband, or vice versa, whatever. If the woman wanted to go out and get the job, the dad could stay home. Like, there was a system that used to work for everybody, and somewhere along the line, these fucking evil fucking people decided, you know what? What if we just decided to screw everybody at the bottom, and all the rich people at the top can continue to take all the money? Listen, I'm not an economist, okay? And I'm not even saying that capitalism is a bad thing, okay? I'm making this video on an iPhone in my car after I just fucking, had a Red Bull from the store, okay? Capitalism clearly works when it's supposed to. I'm not gonna come out here and advocate like, oh, we should push for fucking socialism. I'm just saying, somewhere along the lines in American history, the capitalistic way of how we did things worked, but then some fucking corporate greedy fucks came along and were like, you know what if we fucking overworked people and underpaid them? Let's see how that works. So I don't know, dude. It is so easy for the older generations to say things like, you kids just don't want to work these days. You're so entitled, you don't want to work hard. That's all it is. And yet we're out here not even being able to afford basic fucking necessities to survive without working 2 to 3 jobs on the side, okay? It's clearly
I say I think workers will be good to invest, and seriously imagine you could buy a AI worker for like $20K and send the work. You'll make back what you spent on it quick, huh? AI gonna take over.
Not our fault. There's something has to change here, okay? When you can make more money being a content creator or shaking your ass online or creating a fucking OF account, it's like it should tell you where we are at as a country and how the system is broken, that we need to be able to go do shit like that. I mean, like, I'm at a point where I'm gonna fucking make an OF for myself, okay? There's gotta be a market for a chubby dude like me. I don't know what I could do. Maybe wear a fucking ghost face mask, sit there and bop my baloney, do whatever I gotta do to be able to pay the bills, because that's where we're at, okay? We need to fix this shit because there's no, like, it's so fucked. You younger.
You can't fix it. It already is, bro. Poverty and all those things, it's something that you can't fix, because you gotta have poor. If you're gonna have rich people, you gotta have poor people. It's like living life right now of just having love and not having no hate. If you have love, you're gonna have some hate. This thing is playing both sides. It's playing both sides. Like, you can't have one without the other. He said the politicians are put there just to make you think you got freedom of choice. You really don't. That's how come they put these politicians in front of you. They put these politicians and go, hey, look, choose from these, because they still working for us. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. But they like to give us the illusion that we is in it when we reach a certain status quo. It's like, you in it now, and it's like, nah, you're not in it. You're just in there. A lot of people sleep right now. I hate to say it. It's like the movie that, yeah, exactly. Like the movie They Live. Buy this, be that. It's like everything. And that's why I was saying the other day, like, bro, a lot of times you be thinking your thoughts is yours. Your thoughts ain't yours. Your thoughts was programmed and given to you. You feel me? Like the words was programmed and given to you. Even the way you put them together, you'll mix and match them and they still not yours. Because you're going to make it sound like something that you heard before. That's why I be like, we just reflections. All we do is reflect, we take in, and we put it back out. Everything we take in, we turn around, we let it back out. It don't matter what it is. Or we begin to be what we take in, and we try to be it. Like how people dress in order to show that they are somebody, right? Like if you pay attention to life right now, you see people that have on suits, right? They dress a certain way. Then they dress their speech a certain way. Also, because now if I talk like I dress and like I speak like in a well-mannered way, use big words and all these different things, yes, I got you. I get you to believe the illusion that I'm trying to perceive, that I'm something different than everybody else. You take everybody's clothes off. Some of these smart people be looking weird because they just built funny. But I'm just saying, like, we dress ourselves in so many different ways, man, to keep playing this same game. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about the American dream. Because whatever some people think it is, I promise you, it is not. And
Get some therapy. If you can't call out the nonsense. This is that is crazy though, because you can't call out the nonsense, because when you call it out, like I said, everybody was trained to go against the ones that go against the lifestyle that the American dream or whatever. That's why people say, "Oh, they want our economy to collapse. They want America to fall." And it's like, in order for America to be better, it has to fall. Like that's how it works. In order for it to change and be different, it has to fall. Like that's with anything. It has to go and then something else has to start up. If it still follow the same narrative, which just think is since George Washington, we've been following this same narrative, rules, strict guidelines that weren't like stuff that was put here that wasn't made for a lot of us. I hate to say it. We still fight for these things. And a lot of these things, they weren't made for us. Like, yeah, indoctrination. Like, it wasn't made for us, bro. But we still try to keep it what it is.
Way. For most of American history, the dream was sold as something pretty straightforward, right? Work hard, follow the rules, stay out of trouble. And things will slowly get better. Not perfect, but better. A house, stability, safety, something to pass down. Right? And even though we know that dream was never equally available, there was at least the promise that it existed somewhere. That promise is gone. The American dream is no longer about thriving. It's about not falling. People aren't dreaming about wealth. They're dreaming about staying housed. They're not chasing opportunity. They're trying to avoid catastrophe, medical debt, rent spikes, layoffs. One interaction with the wrong system at the wrong time. The dream is shrunk. For millennials and Gen Z, the dream looks like this. A job that doesn't disappear overnight. Health insurance that actually covers something. Not being one emergency away from ruin. Being left alone by systems that feel increasingly aggressive. The American dream used to rely on a belief in predictability. That if you did X, Y would follow. That rules mattered. That the system, while flawed, it had limits, though. That's what we were told. That belief has cracked wide open. Because more and more people are realizing that the protection...
They want to try to create the best worker bees. Listen to your boss, and that's how you survive. Listen to your boss. Hey, it's crazy. I told you, man. It's wild because even when you get there, everybody is following the program. Everybody is on that robot. You feel me? Pedestal, and they're trying to keep you in line to stay on the same thing. It's like we're robots.
They assumed were permanent or actually conditional, based on race, class, status, proximity to power. And once that illusion breaks, the dream can't function the same way. You can't sell optimism to people who are watching enforcement expand, accountability shrink, and consequences land unevenly. You can't tell people to just comply when compliance hadn't guaranteed safety for a long time and is now starting to fail people who always thought it would. So, what replaces optimism, right? Anxiety, caution, hypervigilance. People don't imagine a better future now. They plan defensively. They save differently, move differently, speak differently.
Dang, they plan
The American dream
defensively.
didn't disappear. It mutated. And for some, especially the wealthy, the old dream still exists. Home ownership, asset growth, insulation from instability. But for most people, the dream is smaller, quieter, more fragile. And that's why nobody's breathing easier. Because the American dream used to tell people where they were headed. Now, it just tells us what we're trying to avoid. And that is a very different country to live in.
That's wild. Like, you live your whole life, like, on the defensive end.
Just 30 years ago, someone could be working at Macy's, marry someone who's working at Lowe's 40 hours a week, get married, buy a house, and raise 3 children. The American dream, and pull that off in their late 20s or early 30s. Now, we created an economy where none of the essential jobs for Gen Zers can afford to have access to the American dream in a reasonable time frame. They might be able to save and get access to it at 57, but what the fuck? You want them to live in an apartment and sacrifice till they're 57? When every other generation before us got to have access to it in their late 20s, early 30s, if you fucked up maybe late 30s, you shouldn't have to be a brain surgeon and a top YouTuber getting married to buy the average house and have 1 child. When just 30 years ago, a high school dropout who's like, I'm just going to live my life and get a job down the street could raise a family on that. That's the American dream. That's where the boomers get
crazy.
That work hard, pull yourself up. No shit. If you could drop out of high school and go work 50 hours a week at a factory and break your back, but you bought a house and raised 3 kids with a stay-at-home mom, you should be proud of that. We're not trying to take that from you. That doesn't exist anymore. You have to be extraordinary today to live an ordinary life.
That is crazy that they were able to do that. And that's what they did. Like, you drop out of school, you go get a job and you just work. Like, and a lot of, like, when I talked to my grandfather before he passed away, he said he didn't even go to school. Like, he was working from 5 years old up. And then I'm telling my mom the stories, and then my mom tell me, dang, that's what we did. Like we was talking today, and she was telling me she was picking, like, when I was young, we used to pick grapes. And she was like, guess how much we used to get paid? And like, each tray, she said a tray. So I said, dang, I'm thinking like 3 cents. She was like, no, she said 4 cents. 4 cents a tray, right? Dang. How many trays that? You know, golly, to try to make $10, you know how many trays you got to turn in? Like, just to get $10. I can't do the math on that because it's too much right now. I'm just saying, God, man.
Hi, I'm here for the American dream.
I don't like that one.
I think the unfortunate reality about living in America and living this so-called American dream is we can't even dream big enough to keep up with anything anymore. I remember being graduated out of college. You know, I got my first big boy job, signing that contract, $85K out of school. I was living large. I thought it was military. Cool. You know, I was like, I can't wait to hit 100K. I had a goal for myself. When I'm 26, I'm gonna make over 100K. I did that. I was still broke. Not 100K, over 100K. And I was still broke. If this is the American dream that we living in, I don't want to dream no more. I'm cool. I don't want to dream. I'm going to go sleep, wake up. I don't want to think about shit in between.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I said nowadays, like, if you got a big family, like, just to move, that's $10,000 right there. Just to move out of a house into another house. That's like damn near $10,000. Like, period. I know.
You turn on the TV.
We have the greatest economy actually ever in history.
You change the channel.
771,000 Americans sleeping on the street tonight. Most of them don't even remember the last time they went to bed full. 150,000 of them are kids.
You turn it off, and you just sit there, because the math isn't adding up anymore. You work full-time, maybe 2 jobs. You haven't taken a real vacation in years. You drive a car that's about to die. You haven't been to the dentist in 3 years, and you're still broke at the end of every month. Your grandfather bought a house on one income, raised 4 kids, took the family to the beach every summer, retired with a pension. You can't even afford the rent on a 1-bedroom. So when the president says, "We have the greatest economy in history," who exactly is he talking about? Because it isn't you. It isn't the kids in the cars. It isn't your friend who works full-time at the warehouse and still lives with his mom at 34. Somebody is winning. It just isn't us. And it didn't happen by accident. Let me show you a number that should make you angry. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. In 1965, the average American CEO made 21 times more than the average worker. 21 times. That sounds like a lot. It isn't. Today, if the worker makes 50 grand a year, that same ratio would mean the CEO takes home about $1 million. 60 years ago, that's how it worked. The CEO had a nicer house, a nicer car. The worker had a house and a car. The system was imperfect, but it worked. People got by. In 2024, the average CEO at America's largest companies made 281 times more than the average worker. For the 100 biggest companies that pay the lowest wages...
That's crazy, because where is that? Awoken out here, like in San Diego, it seems like it's almost... Each room is like $750K or something like that. I don't know. Like you find, if you find like a 2-bedroom house under $1 million, that's good. That's good. A 2-bedroom though. We're not talking about like no 4 or 5, 3-bedroom, like something like that. Like even with a 3-bedroom house for rent, if you was renting out here, it's like 35. Like 35. Like period. So yeah, when you moving, yeah, you talking about yeah, you talking about deposit, first and last month's rent. Yeah, you out the pocket. You is out the pocket, and that's just the move if you renting. So like I was saying, my friend that just bought that house, it was around seven. He paid $735, something like that, and it's a 1-bedroom. Like I'm like going, dang, bro, like that's crazy unfair. And my brother just bought a house in like Georgia, and he didn't even spend $500K, and it's like a 5-bedroom.
The Walmarts, the Amazons, the McDonald's, the ratio is 632 to 1. Let me put that in plain English. It would take the average American worker, starting in the year 1740, working every single year through the American Revolution, the Civil War, both World Wars, the Great Depression, the Cold War, and all the way to today, almost 300 years of full-time labor, to earn what a single CEO makes in 1 year. Adjusted for inflation, CEO pay has gone up 878% since 1978. Worker pay has gone up 4.5%. That's it. Half a century, 4.5%. In the same country, in the same companies, at the same time. Here's where it gets weird. There's a single rule the government quietly changed in 1982. Almost nobody talks about it, but it explains everything you just saw. You probably think CEO pay going up like that is normal, that it's how capitalism works, that CEOs are just worth more now. Here's the part they don't teach you. For most of American history, when a company made money, it did 3 things with the profit. It paid the workers, it reinvested in the business, and it gave some back to shareholders. That was the deal. In 1982, the government changed a rule. They made it legal for companies to use their profits to buy back their own stock. Before 1982, companies that bought back their own stock could be charged with market manipulation. So almost no one did it. After 1982, it became the most common thing a company does. When a company buys its own stock, the price goes up. When the price goes up, the CEO's stock options get more valuable. And guess what the CEO's pay is tied to? The stock price. So instead of paying workers more or investing in the future, companies use their profits to make their own stock more expensive, which makes the CEOs richer. Just 100 companies, the ones that pay you garbage wages, spent $644 billion buying back their own stock between 2019 and 2024. You turn on the TV.
We have the greatest economy.
That is crazy. He said capitalism. Isn't that wonderful? And people will call this communist propaganda. When profit alone is the compass to move society, then people are just pawns to be profited upon. Yeah, we already knew that.
They don't tell you what American dream, but let me tell you some of the things. Working 40 hours a week or bi-weekly, that's American dream. Getting some of your money taken away by taxes, by the government, every week or every other week or monthly when you get paid. That's an American dream. Paying a mortgage or buying a house, which is called a mortgage here, that you would never ever own, even if you pay for that house, because even if you buy that house or not, you still have to pay taxes on that property, that land that house is staying on. That's the American dream. We don't own anything in this country, just so you know that. That's the American dream. Okay? Having children and the government is able to make decision on what you do or how you discipline your children. That's the American dream. Being in jail for stupid things. Like, they don't tell you what American dream, but
being in jail. I want to hear where did that come from? That just came from out of nowhere, huh? Being in jail. Wait. Whoa.
That's the American dream. Being in jail for stupid things. Like, they don't tell
Yeah, that's
Go
the
back
American
to America? Why the hell would I go back to America? So I can work 60-hour weeks, make 6 figures a year, and still live like I'm freaking poor? Are you crazy? Do you want to know what the real American dream is? I'll tell you. It's making US dollars online, and it's leaving the USA with that amazing passport that gets you access all over the world. There's Asia, there's Europe, there's South America. There's so many beautiful, amazing places that you can visit, and you can travel, and you can live your dream while people are clocking in, clocking out, getting taken advantage of by the system that is engineered to extract value from you your whole life. Go to school, go to college, get in debt, get a job, work 60 years, then die. That is not God's plan for me. You gotta wake up and you gotta realize the system is not for you. You gotta do the exact opposite.
They said that is not God's plan for me. But you know what they always say in America? God bless America. I'm just
Everything they tell you
saying.
to do. I don't know. Working for me. Maybe I'm full of crap though.
If you want to learn how I use AI, cryptocurrency, online.
God bless America.
For instance, the one thing that we've all been taught, whether or not we have been taught racism by our parents or bigotry by our parents, the one thing that we've all been taught, whether we're white or people of color, whether we're rich or poor, whether we live in the South, the Midwest, the Northeast, the West Coast, regardless of religion or any of that, is sort of the secular gospel of America, the foundational myth of our country, which is what? The idea that wherever you end up, it's all about you. Rugged individualism, this idea that you can be anything if you just work hard. Now, aside from the fact that we know it's not that simple, we all know people who've worked hard, have nothing to show for it. We know people that were born on third base, think they hit a triple, haven't actually had to work very hard in their entire lives. Yeah. So we know it's more complicated, but beyond that, think about the detriment of that belief, which is demonstrably false. Historically, black folks did the hardest work, and we're not rewarded for it. Demonstrably today, people of color continue to do the hardest work. So it's demonstrably false. But if you were taught that, and we all were taught that, and then you look around and you see disproportionately white people up here on the hierarchy, and you see people of color here, then it becomes logical, doesn't it, in a weird, twisted way, to decide, well, I guess these people just must be better. And I guess these people must be inferior, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be there. And that, of course, ignores history. You know, that's talking about what we see now as if history didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It shows a total lack of sociological imagination, a total lack of historical knowledge, a complete ignorance of everything that happened before yesterday, right? But the reality is people do that all the time, and they go, well, these people clearly don't want it as much. Our society has always taught that. And if we teach that and we don't interrogate the inequality that we see, then we're going to come to conclusions that do promote racism, that promote classism, looking down on poor people regardless of race, and looking down on women as women promote sexism because men will be disproportionately here under a system of patriarchy and misogyny. We're the only society in the history of the world that's pumped that rhetoric. And I understand why we tell them, you can be anything you want if you're willing to work hard. The difference is, as a parent, I insist on putting an asterisk at the end of that statement that I give my daughters. And the asterisk says, by the way, for that to be true, you're going to have to not just work hard as the individuals you are, you're going to have to work hard to overcome sexism and the obstacles that some men and sadly some women will put in your place. In other words, it isn't enough to be the best you have to work collectively to overcome obstacles. So my primary concern is telling them, if you go down there and don't have a strategy for overcoming, I don't know, the electric fence that the world doesn't want to tell you is there, you're going to end up knocked on your rear end and you're going to wonder why daddy didn't prepare you. And so I believe the same is true. We talk about this notion of merit and individualism. It's not that hard work isn't important. It's that if we do not interrogate the intricacies of that mythology, and if we don't interrogate it and subject it to critique, we are setting people up. We are setting people of color up to internalize oppression. For instance,
setting everybody up. Man, that shit is so real right there. And then that's what I don't get is like, okay, we taught to look down on each other because of what we have or what we don't got. Like we taught to look up to rich people. Like just because a person is rich, we look at them as being successful. We don't look at it like, okay, your dad was rich, so you inherited his money. We don't look at those different things. We just taught to look down on people who we feel like got less than us. But yet, we talk about God. We talk about Jesus. We talk about all these different things, the Bible and all. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Because if we believed half these things, we would all be doing good. We would all know how to look out for each other and be there for each other. But no, we're so busy trying to be better than him, better than her, better than them, going, it works like this if you do this because you made it. Everybody can't make it. That's just part of the thing. It's like having a swimming pool that only fit 100 people and 1,000 people come. Everybody can't get in the pool. That's just how it works. But to go around looking down on people just because you feel like they didn't do this or they didn't do that, this is the illusion that we fed into. And then we work to keep the illusion real. Like that's us. Like you're like, remember, like me being 50 when I was young, right? I remember if somebody on the block was cooking, everybody on the street knew. And everybody would go over there and eat. Like you'll have certain people that would barbecue and feed everybody on the block. Like we don't do that no more. We don't look out for each other like we supposed to. Like we got the mindset that if you didn't make it, then there's something wrong that you did. Everybody can't make it though. And like that's just the game. That's how it is. Everything is 50-50. You got 50% that's going to make it. You got 50% that ain't. And the ones in the middle, they going to be looking all types of ways, but they going to be like in the middle. I'm just saying, though, it's like everybody can't make it. But yet, we can't walk around make it seem like we want everybody to be good, and then we still be living life like this, looking down on other people because, oh, we think they're not smart. We think they're not this, or we think they not that. Like, and we wonder why the world is the way it is, because that's how they do way up high. And then, like they say, as above, so below. They do it up here, dang, they pass it on to us, and then we start spreading it. And then we let them speak for us. Like, I never could understand that anyway. A person that's being in office, some of these people that's in office that never lived in a poor neighborhood, never even been around poor people, never went to like the liquor store in a neighborhood, because that's where all the liquor stores at. They never even been in these neighborhoods. They never been around people from these neighborhoods. They're trying to fix something they don't even really understand. They only know that they've been rich and, since I have money, I can buy my way into things. And it's like, bro, it's crazy. We got to, as people, I just feel like we got to do better. It sounds good, everything everybody's saying, but everybody's taught to go against each other in every which way. In every which way that you could think of, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing good. Even if you're doing good, you got people on the bad side, they're going to, look at him. He got stuck up in all these different things. If you're doing bad, they're going to look at him. He's tore up. It's like that we taught to literally destroy each other mentally, period, all the time. No matter what it is a person is doing, we taught to destroy each other mentally, sometimes physically. So it's like, as a people, I just think we all have to do better. Because if we as a people wanted everything or everybody to be doing good, it'll be something that would happen. Like we can make it happen, but still we believe in the system. And the system has to be gone. Like this system is not working, bro. It's like, I hate to say it, it's just not. You know, you can fight for it and do all the things. The illusion of the system, that shit is not working. It's destroying people. Is it? And the ones that's making it off the system, they don't care about the ones who's getting destroyed behind the system. They don't care about that. They only care that they're making it.
The American dream is a scam and it's bullshit. What's the American dream? Oh, you find a job that you love. You work that job 40 hours a week for 50 years of your life, which means you're not spending time with your family. You're not doing the things you love. Your life belongs to the corporation and belongs to your job because that's the majority of what you're doing with your life. And then guess what? You'll be able to retire when you're 65, 70 years old. And then you'll be able to live your life, if you even make it there. And people were like, yeah, let's do that. Your dream should be time freedom. Time is the most valuable thing that you have on this earth. You should be trying to retire as young as 20 years old. It's it's easy now. Pick up your phone. If you're working, you're a dumb shit. If you're working, you're a fucking dumb fuck. Because you can pick up this phone and make over $75K a month. So why the fuck are you going to follow that old American dream where you work a job for 40 years? That's stupid. Everybody that works a job is poor and they're miserable. Time freedom. Being able to wake up and do what you want when you want. That is the true American dream. Or the true fucking world dream. Because that's how we're supposed to be living. We're supposed to be able to wake up and do what we want when we want. No fucking system is in place. None of this fucking bullshit. You want to know how you escape this shit though? Because everyone else is brainwashed. You learn how to make money without trading your time for it. Pick up this phone. I make over $75K a month using this phone. You want my help? Comment Vault or click the link in my bio, and I'll send you my free guide.
The 3-bedroom house with the 4-bedroom house with 3 kids and 2 cars and a dog. The American dream. And these people can go and they can work their jobs and they can afford to pay bills and they can afford to fund for 2 cars and go on 2 vacations every year, and their kids are in programs and they have nice clothes, nice shoes, nice neighborhood, pay the HOA fees, big old Christmas tree, nice honey baked ham. Consumers. Hey, this is the hot new artist. You should go listen to him now. They go listen to him. This is the hot new artist. He's having a concert near you. Go to the concert. These are the cool shoes. Hey, dude, these are the cool shoes. Now, you see, this is what I talk about, the uniformity, white supremacy. They all look the same. Because they all follow the same trends, because they're all hyper consumers. The trends come from the corporations. The 3-bedroom house.
Trends come from the corporations.
Most people in America are told that the American life, the American dream, is graduate from college, get married, buy a house, white picket fence, 2.5 kids, and you made it. And I think we all just have to look at people who are a little bit older than us to realize that might not be our American dream. We might want to travel more. We might want to work remotely. I mean, here we are in the middle of a weekday, chit-chatting and sharing it with millions of people. This is our dream. So I want to challenge people to really question what you've been taught. That's number one. Number two, most people who buy a house and live in it think that it is the best investment. But most people have never run
like my piggy bank.
Yeah, they think that.
Somebody
They don't understand that when you spend money on a house, you've incurred tons of phantom costs. You have taxes, you have maintenance, you have all kinds of things that you don't count. And if you actually factor all those numbers in, real estate often, in fact, many times, is not a great investment at all. It's a place to live, and you have these phrases like you're throwing money away on rent. It's not true. Your landlord's making a profit, otherwise they wouldn't do it. That's not true. Your landlord can't charge you whatever they want. They can only charge you what the market will bear. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, if you are a real estate investor and you're disciplined, that's a different story, and that can be effective. But mom and pop who are thinking that they bought their house in 1970 for $200,000 and now it's worth $600,000. They think they made $400,000. Actually not. If they had taken that money and put it in the market, they would probably have much, much more.
Really?
And listen, I will buy a house one day. Okay, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm telling you never to buy a house.
Yeah.
If you want to rent for the rest of your life, you absolutely can. Many people in New York, San Francisco, and other high cost of living
LA,
cities,
yeah.
they rent.
HOA,
There's no shame in that. I
HOA
rent
neighborhood.
by choice. I could buy a place tomorrow, cash, and I choose to rent.
Yeah.
The key thing, I think, whether it's a house or investments, my point
fails,
to you guys is take your money seriously. Once you take your money seriously and you put some time in it, whether it's this book or wherever you want to get your information, you're going to be better off for it.
I would not be debt-free as fast as I was without your book. So again, I appreciate you.
Dang, it's my Still, ain't that's weird in itself. It's like I'm giving you the information, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit. But check out my book. I gotta sell this to you too, because you let me sell you something like everybody else selling you something. Go buy this, okay?
American dream is a scam. All you have to do is work hard. This is a meritocracy. Do you know how many people are working hard and have been working hard their whole life? And all they have to show for it is like some sort of chronic health condition and a fuck ton of debt. It's not real. It's not real. The thing they've been selling us isn't real. We'll just create jobs for everybody. Everybody will have jobs. There can be a chicken on every table.
Hey, you know what? I tripped off of that, right? Like when you a lot of people that I seen that had student loans, like they student loans wasn't even paid off until like they were like 50, 40, 50, and 60. And it's like, damn, it's like that's crazy. I need to come out with a system like that to where I'm going to be able to charge a motherfucker all the way up until they old, till they almost gone.
Or whatever. But here's the thing, we're going to create all the jobs in the place where it's too expensive for anybody who has those jobs to live there. So then they'll have to commute. They'll have to commute to the job because work hard, you'll be successful. Then by the time they're done commuting in their home, 10 hours of their day are gone. But we'll give them 2 days off. But they'll work so hard that on those 2 days, one of them is just recovering from all of the work that they've done, and the other one is just preparing to do more work. So when are you supposed to wake the fuck up? Do you want to be an accountant? Do I want to be a banker? Am I really into plumbing? Actually, I do think blue-collar work is a wonderful service and probably very rewarding. But I thought I was doing it right. I followed all of your rules. I did everything you told me to do, and I'm miserable. And I'm miserable. Stop buying it. I think we can all just get paid to be ourselves. I think abundance is our natural state, and this is a scam.
They said blue collar isn't that rewarding. I was an electrician. You just get worked hard to make deadlines, same as anywhere else. They said the American dream is a fever dream. Yep. Work my ass off. I am now disabled, in debt, have nothing to show for it. I barely get state benefits, and the only reason I'm not homeless is my husband takes care of the bills. Otherwise, I'd be shot. American dream is to be up to debt in your eyeballs and be a slave to the system. Oh, my God, man.
The American dream is fake. The American dream is a myth that's sold to you so that car, gas, and oil companies can continue to profit. The American dream and the American obsession with car and, by default, home ownership structures life in an artificial way by creating these artificial milestones such as you must drive by this age, you must get car by this age, home by this age. This takes us away from our true creative and human potential because it's obvious that as humans we are creative, artistic, athletic beings. It's obvious. Instead, marketing is very good at tricking you into focusing on these completely artificial things, like home and car ownership, in order to fill a void.
He said it's almost like to become rich, you have to F people over and do bad stuff or just get lucky and win the lottery or something. I don't know any rich people who did it from good actions. Yeah, it's crazy. And then when you rich, is you still rich? Because, like, you start to spend what you making. So you start living the lifestyle in what in where you making money at. Like if you making millions, yeah, you're gonna buy $1 million stuff. That's just what you're gonna do. It's like they say, man, he said, look, more money, more problems. And I don't know if that's true. It's true for some, for others, no.
The American dream ain't real, never was. It's a bedtime story they tell the poor so we don't wake up and burn the whole system down. Work hard, play by the rules, and you'll make it. Yeah? Then why are millions of us barely scraping by while billionaires hoard enough money to end poverty 100 times over? They tell us it's about effort, that if you're struggling, it's your fault. Not the rigged economy, not the landlords jacking up rent 150% since the 90s, not the fact that minimum wage hasn't kept up with inflation since the 60s, and not the fact that half of us don't have $500 for an emergency while CEOs make that in a second. Nah, it's you. You just didn't try hard enough. I say bullshit. They say go to college, but a degree don't mean nothing when you're drowning in debt you'll never pay off. Student loans in this country total $1.7 trillion. And who profits? The same banks that needed bailouts while we all lost our homes in '08. The same politicians that send their kids to Ivy League schools with no debt, no struggle, and no worries. It was never about giving us a future. It was about trapping us. They say, buy a house. With what? Wages ain't moved in decades. Rent so high, can't even save. The average home price is 5 times what it was in the 80s, and they want to tell us it's just inflation? No, it's greed. It's billionaires and banks buying up homes, turning neighborhoods into playgrounds for the rich, pushing working people into the dirt. They say just get a good job. Where? Factory jobs are all gone. Retail jobs can barely pay rent. Healthcare costs can wipe out your whole life savings overnight. They say the economy is booming. But for who? Because it ain't the single mom working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. It ain't the guy breaking his back in a warehouse with no benefits. And it sure as hell ain't the millions working harder than ever just to stay broke. And then they tell us, well, at least you have freedom. Freedom to what? To die because we can't afford insulin? To work ourselves to death while billionaires ride rockets to space? To choose between rent and food? That ain't freedom. That's a death sentence. The truth is, the American dream is a leash, a scam, a fantasy to keep us obedient, to keep us blaming ourselves instead of the real enemy, the ones who rigged the game in the first place, and they will keep us chasing that lie until the day we die, unless we finally say enough. We don't need to work harder. We don't need to suffer more. We need to take back what's ours. We built this country. We keep it running, and we're the ones struggling? Nah, not anymore. The dream is dead. Time to build something real. The American dream ain't real. No.
That was a good one right there. I like that one.
Some do, but some have lost hope in the American dream because, unfortunately, this country is for the rich, by the rich, and it's always going to be. If you are not in that top, they say 1%, but I say it's a little higher than that, maybe 5%. If you ain't in that top echelon with these motherfuckers, they don't care about you. They've never been in your situation. How do you have a country run by people who don't fit 3 categories? None of them have never been hungry. None of them have never wondered where their next meal was coming from. None of them, they all come from money. They all come from status. They all come from somewhere. You can't tell me you ain't never seen like I said, Barack Obama was the first black president. But this nigga didn't grow up in Compton or in Watts or in Brooklyn or in Bed-Stuy or Gary, Indiana. This nigga grew up in somewhere that nobody knows, where there's nothing but people that don't look like us at. People are, and that's the whole thing. Everybody doesn't understand that shit. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad for that
college degree
reason.
Really don't even matter.
Everybody doesn't understand where each other is coming from. You're only seeing life from your perspective. Poor people are getting mad right now because
it was all a dream.
This is getting cut. That's getting cut. They're going after this. They're going after that. And then everybody's starting to realize, but hold up. everything they're going after only affects those that ain't in that 5%. Only affects niggas that gotta wonder if they gonna make it to their next paycheck, to their next meal, to their next this. Some do.
That's wild. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the young people is waking up and they seeing it for what it is. But a lot of us old people, we try to keep them stuck in it. Man, let these kids wake up, okay? Don't let them. Why we gonna let them fall for the same shit we fell for? Even we tell them, no, you ain't right. You know, I'm telling you, if you just work and you work hard, and man, let these young people wake up. Get to the point to where they kind of running shit at times, because some of them, man, they smarter than a lot of the old folks that's walking around still with that same mentality, God bless America type shit. I'm just saying, let them wake up and do their thing, man.
I made a video last week where I was talking about how I can't wait for us, the United States, to get nuked. It was semi-joke,
I ain't saying
mostly
all
just saying
that.
it for the shock factor so people would stay and listen to the video.
I ain't saying all
I had somebody
that.
come back and go like, "That's not going to happen because blah, blah, blah." Also, just because your life sucks, you want to make everyone else's life suck? Excuse me, sir. That's projection.
She barking at that dog next door, knowing she's scared. If that dog start barking back, she gonna run over here and try to hide behind me.
My life is great. My life is incredibly comfortable. However, I'm upset because my comfort comes at the expense of innocent people. People that don't deserve it. People that are unrelated to my life. Why should I live comfortably while they have to suffer and die? They don't deserve it. They're unrelated to my comfort here, but they're suffering for it. And I don't like that. I don't like that other people in our country are perfectly okay with that. They think as long as they have it nice and easy, nobody else matters. Everybody matters, dude. Not in an all lives matter kind of way.
Man,
but
no, everybody just
if
matters.
you have breath, if you have life, you have inalienable rights. Like it's written into the Constitution, into the preamble. We have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If America is really the world police, shouldn't they be ensuring everybody else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? Shouldn't the idea of the American dream be available to everybody, not just people within the borders? If we were really the world police, we would be trying to ensure life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone around the world. But instead, we're not. We're victimizing them for our comfort.
Working. Hey, for real, it'd be like, what's the name? No, it's crazy because I remember when I was in Tracy and DVI, and they had we did like a lockdown to where ain't nobody going to work in the whole prison. Like nobody go to work. You go to work, you might get stabbed. I'm just saying, that's what they were saying. I was fresh in. I had only been there like a year. I knew they'd be getting down, but I was like, yeah, I am not going. Like they wrote everybody up, but everybody didn't go. I think it was a few people that went, right? But here in America, like here, if we was to do that, bro, come on now. People, do you know James was waiting for you to get fired or lose your position so he could get in? There's people actually waiting to take your position, because they feel like they can do better than you in the first place. So it's like everybody's not going to be down for it, all right? Everybody don't know how to read the room. I'm just saying. They're not going to be down for it. But what somebody say about Jesus say, Galatians, there is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is no male nor female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. See, that's what I be getting like, all right? We all say that, but I think I don't know. I'm starting to think people just be using I'm not saying you who just put that quote. I'm saying other people, they use that the in God we trust and the God thing in order to make themselves right in a lot of different ways, when we know right now things are not right. We're not all looking out for each other. We don't all help each other. We're not people are not the nicest thing on the planet. I was just saying this earlier, like how it is, like just because you up here, you look down on the people down here. Like, and that was Mr. T. Remember the video with Mr. T where he came in with Barbara Walters to do the interview, and she said, dang, you got on all them gold chains. Why you got on them old ass shoes? And he said, man, that's so I don't forget where I came from. Feel me? I'm rubbing rubbing shoulders with all these rich people, and I didn't became rich, but I don't want to forget where I came from, because once I start acting like them, I'm gonna look down on these people over here, on my people or whoever. Like I'm gonna look down on them, like they do. Like like if you notice, think about this, right? Every rapper that we seen that started from the bottom, that started with nothing, once they got rich, they started acting like they always was rich. They was calling everybody else broke because they made it. These niggas is broke and you ain't shit. And woo woo. This be our mentality. Not just with rappers, but with anything. Even when we get a job and we get a good job and we start doing better than others, we start putting them down. Like, I'm doing better than you because look at you. You over there sitting pole. You ain't got this. You ain't got that. It's like, no, bro. Like what have times come to? Like, we should be smart enough now as humans to make everything work for everybody. Like, there's no way it should be like this. And then we go, well, because this, and this, and we act like animals. This is what the lions do. If you go see the lions, you got one lion running the whole crew. You feel me? Somebody come from outside, he's attacking me, running off, you feel me? But you got one that's running the whole crew, and everybody's following him. You feel me? Everybody look up to him, no matter what he does. It's like what we do. And everybody outside of that, they just look down on, they kind of attack. They attack. Anybody that ain't part of the pride, they attack. They attack. Like, it got to the point to where we attack people within our pride. We attack our own people around us that's just trying to live and be just like we are. Like, we start attacking them. Like, we attacking each other. And it's like, this is what lets me know the world. I'm telling you, the world is a crazy place. I ain't even going to say the world. The people are crazy as hell. And if we believe that what we doing is right, it let you know, man, we living in the illusion. We are our own predators. Like, exactly, bro. We living in the straight illusion. And I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna keep that one to myself. I'll use that another time.
Whoever made the term American Dream, them niggas fucking lie. Let me tell you about something. I'm in fucking Walgreens and shit. I'm getting some essentials.
Everybody talking about the American Dream. Why they got a cuss though?
I go to the register. It's a woman. She had to be minimum 80 years old. Minimum. I'm talking about everything slow, moving slow, almost like on some Matrix shit. Right? Cool. So there's a guy in front of me. He's purchasing something. She moving slow as shit.
That was some Matrix shit.
So she says, "I'm sorry. This is my first week here. I'm not used to this. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon." Because you have to be in your 80s. She had to be. And you working at Walgreens? Yeah, nah. I'm sorry. Because in what world should an 80-year-old be in service, customer service, working a job?
Exactly.
You should be retired, man. You should be enjoying that pension, you get what I'm saying? That money you got. Where is that? That's why I be saying, bro, this American Dream shit is a fraud. Imagine working 70 years of your life for this country to go back to work 9 years later. Oh my God.
That is crazy.
Pull a plug on me. Pull it. Because I'm not going back to work.
Pull the plug on me. But that is real, though, because we see that. We go to stores, we go to certain places, and we see somebody like 90 years old behind the counter moving slow as shit. And you like, what the hell you still working for? And some people still just want to work, but it's like, dang, should you be somewhere on the island? You feel me? Like kicking your feet up in the sand or something, going and living life and having fun, and like you done worked your whole life. And then you got to go right back to work. It's like, what the hell? 80 years old, though. I seen it a lot. See it at DMV. See it at a lot of different places. And, like, usually that's what people say. Like, I retired, but, my shit wasn't paying too much. I had to get another job, even after I retired.
Turns out the American Dream was a lie. I seen a post today talking about the American Dream was a lie. And at first, I thought about it when I seen that post, and I was like, the American dream is a lie. All them people trying to come over from different countries found out the American dream is a lie now. It's not the American dream that it used to be. You guys go back and look at the how much it is for a 1-bedroom apartment. Matter of fact, let's not talk about apartment, 1-bedroom. Let's talk about just the efficiency. Efficiency is just a big old room, like a studio, $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Look at all the vehicles that y'all see going down the street on the back of those tow trucks. Those vehicles weren't involved in accidents at all. There's not a scratch or dent on those vehicles. As a matter of fact, 90% of those vehicles that y'all see going down the street on the back of those repossession trucks have license plates on it. Those are newer vehicles, no expiration. There is nothing wrong with those vehicles, guys. They didn't break down. Those are 2024, 2025 vehicles being towed. But they're not just being towed, they're being repoed. Look how many people homes are being foreclosed on. You got the average American that's trying to buy a trailer home now and move into a mobile park. You know why? Because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
People used to
It
laugh
is,
at
though.
mobile homes and people in mobile parks. Trailer trash this, trailer trash that. But now that's a new way of life for a whole lot of people, man. You see, the American dream is not what people think it is. It's not like it used to be. American dream used to be you can come over here or you can get a job making $8, $9, $10 an hour. No problem. You still have money left over after paying your car note, after paying groceries, after paying your rent and bills. You would have at least $100, $200 left over. Now, those days are over with. Now, you have to make at least $35 or $40 an hour and have a partner that makes exactly or almost the same as you make, if not a little bit less, to even survive. When the last time you walked into the grocery store with $200 and walked out with a grocery cart full of food?
Hell no.
It doesn't even exist anymore. When the
No.
last time you took your car to the gas station while it was on E and put $25 or $30 in there? Those times is over with. The gas tank needle hardly even
That's a
moves.
quarter
And
tank,
I feel
right?
sorry for you if you got a pickup truck or an SUV or a V8.
Hey, because remember back in the days, like your partner asked you, hey, man, can I get a ride real fast? And you go jump in the car and he'll give you $5 for gas. Remember that used to be cool? Like now, like $10, hey, man. I put $10 in my car one time at a gas station that was so expensive. I said, I'm going to just put 10 here just so I can make it to the next gas station in order to pay lesser price because it's like $6 and some damn near $7. I'm like, dang, I put that gas in. Look. my gas light went off. As soon as I drove out the parking lot, it came right back on. I said, I ain't even went nowhere yet. It came right back on. It was like it went a little bit above E and then went right back to E, just driving out the parking lot. I'm like, gas is like, woo-wee right now.
Times have changed, man.
They have.
The landlords is thirsty. The government is thirsty. These jobs is thirsty. All they want you to do is work, and they don't want to pay you nothing. This is not the American dream. So if you come here for the American dream, just know that you was lied to about the American dream. It ain't no American dream anymore. It's the American theme because we all is fiending for a come up, bro. Let me know what you guys think about this. American dream was a lie. Nah, American dream is an American theme because that's all American.
I'm telling you, that shit half and half, man. But people have issues, life problems, and people are. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's half and half. It works for some, and it don't work for everybody, and it part of the ways work for others. It just doesn't work for everybody, and like that's just what it is, bro.
The American dream is a scam. You got played, and deep down, you already knew that. From the moment you took your first breath, they started feeding you that dream. Work hard, be good, follow the rules, and you'll be...
You said putting nails in the gas tank and scamming for free gas? How the hell? Wait, what? Nails in the in the gas pump and scamming for free gas? Oh my goodness, man.
Ordered. You'll have peace, security, and
Back in the
freedom.
days, I
A
was
little house, a little
I'd have
joy.
tried it.
But see, that was never the plan for you. That story was told to keep you obedient, to keep you in line. So you would clock in, clock out, and not ask too many damn questions.
As a
So you would go
nightmare.
into debt for a degree,
Tank,
for a
but in the
house,
gas pump,
for a
yeah.
car, chasing something
I'm
they
gonna have to look
promised,
that up.
but they
I'm gonna
never
have to look
planned
that up.
on delivering it to you. They don't want you to be free. They want you to be docile. They want you grateful for crumbs. Because understand, when you're busy dreaming, you're not paying attention to who's stealing your future. So wake up. The dream, it was a lullaby. And it's time that you stop sleeping on the truth.
It's crazy because we work for shiny things. like the one crab in Moana. Like we work for, if it's shiny, you know we'll work for it. We work for shiny things. We like these trinkets. It's just, I don't know, it's just, that's us. So we work in order to try to have these shiny things, because almost like when we was kids and we walk in the store and we like see the candy and we want the candy and mom be like no, or we see toys and we want the toys. And now we get to that age to where we can buy it. And it's like, yeah, I work for the trinkets, you know, but they don't last long. They come and they go. They here and then they gone. Like it's almost like a high or something. It's like doing cocaine. I ain't never did cocaine, but I'm just saying it's almost like a high like that.
The American dream as we know it today is now officially a scam. I was listening to a clip from Tucker Carlson and he was going in on this specific fact. I really agree with him. A lot of young people have been lied to for way too long, and I think they're all waking up, and I am totally for it. The sentiment has always been you go to college, get a good degree, then you get a good job, then you buy a home, you find a wife, you have kids, all those things. You have that white picket fence, but all of that now is falling away. College students right now have the highest level of unemployment literally ever in history. And so what did all these kids do? They took on a ton of student loan debt, and now they have no way to pay it back. And now a lot of them are mad, and rightfully so. So there's a lot of ways that we can try to fix this, but if you are in that situation where you are overwhelmed with debt, number one, you need to take a little bit of a humble pill, move back in with your family, pay down your debt as aggressively as possible, and get out of that debt snowball. And if you're in school right now, I highly recommend starting a side hustle. I tell you all the time on all my videos, you need to prepare for not just having a full-time income, but having an additional income that you generate by yourself, regardless of who employs you. My last thought, if college costs $200,000 and you can't guarantee that you're gonna get a job, don't take on that student loan. If renting is cheaper than buying in your area, then use the math and make a decision and go forth and be confident. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts in the comments. But
Like most people that you see have like 3 and 2 and 3. Yeah, I see. Look, I have 3 homes. Look, I just I have 3 homes. Good. Mark, do your thing, man. But yeah, most people that you see, they have like 2 and 3 jobs. Like soon as they get off of one job, they're going straight to the next job. And it's crazy because, you know, I don't think, sometimes I see why people be stealing from their job. Like some people do. I wouldn't do it. I never did it. I never ever stole from a job, but I've seen a lot of people videos of people stealing from their job, and it's like, dang, I see one lady, she stole like $150K through Cash App. I said, golly, like they ain't stealing little money no more. Like they do it because it's online. Everything is online. One lady, this guy and his wife, they went to a restaurant and he slid his card, and then it was him and his friend actually. And when they left, they actually left with each other's card. They didn't know. So like he called his friend like, "Hey man, you got my card, I got your card." And his friend like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." He said, "Did you use it?" He said, "Yeah, I actually did." He said, "I didn't even notice, but I used it a couple of times." And he told him what he used it for, but he had like some expenses up there totaling up to 150,000. Come to find out, they go back to the restaurant. The lady in the restaurant, she took the number. She booked flights and some more shit. I said, which was the dumbest thing. Like, you steal somebody's credit card from your job, you steal their credit card numbers, and you go book flights out of the country to like Guatemala in your name. I'm like going, what the hell was you thinking? Like, I mean, I wouldn't have did it, but I'm just saying if I would have, I wouldn't have. I ain't buying shit in my name. Hey, you get them tickets, I ain't put them in my name. Shit. Hey, the ticket gonna say Harry Belafonte or something. But it's like get to the point to where you actually have people, stealing from their job because, I don't know if they just thieves or they just not doing too good. It's like, I don't know.
I think initially when you hear about the American dream, you have this picture in your head of what you're moving from Jamaica to. And getting here was quite the opposite of what and I have a very vivid imagination. So getting here was quite different from what I imagined. Actually, I wasn't not too far from here. What we're on 79th and 2nd now, and I was raised on 90 and 22nd. So I'm
asking for free.
In the heart of Liberty City. So, for me, leaving my little countryside and coming here, I had this picture of, what the house would look like. I saw the picket fence. I saw the, I see the dog. I see, the whole lot. And it was very different because I was raised in the inner cities. And, for me, I remember coming in. I remember that flight. It was a night flight. And I remember coming in and just seeing all the lights, Come from a country where it was like, at the time, it was like maybe 2 street lights. The whole, And so I remember, coming in the night and just seeing all the lights and being wow as a kid. And I remember waking up that morning, though, and wanting to go back home. Because
look like you too now as you got older.
It wasn't what I expected, you know what I mean? Yeah, so in the inner city, I basically was raised across the street from what people consider a dope house. So and my very first morning in Miami, I woke up to a shootout that was happening across the backyard. It was one guy on one fence and another guy on the next fence, literally shooting at each other, and I'm standing at the back door. I'm standing at the back door watching this like it's a tennis match, not knowing the immediate danger that I was in.
Right. As a child.
Man.
As a child.
Right.
Yeah.
You just be looking out the window.
It's one of them places where it makes you have to grow up fast.
The trenches. Yeah.
You have to learn to adjust and adapt really quick, or else, you fall victim.
Like you fall victim. Dang, that's like to be real about a lot of us was raised like that, and not dope house across the street, but your house was the dope house, and like that's just what it was. Like, oh man, I seen the door kicked in a couple of times, which was crazy. Like to even witness as being like 13, 14 years old, and to be in a room with a bunch of kids and the door get kicked in and it's the police. Like we thought they was just fighting until they kicked in our door, but that's when the police was different back then. They seen it was kids in there. They put the guns down fast. Hey, they have to tell the other ones, hey, this room is nothing but kids. So be careful. Don't go in there with the guns. There's kids in there. Which was wild. But some of us that's what it was, bro. That's just what it was.
Is it me, or does it feel like everything in America is a scam right now? Like everywhere you go, people are trying to scam you. And I don't mean the usual typical scammers, because we used to that. We used to the scammers scamming. But right now, it's actually like reputable businesses, like Fortune 500 companies that, not saying that they were perfect before, but now it feels like they're just like blatantly scamming. Like the cell phone companies and car dealerships and internet companies and everything. They're trying to get every little last bit out of you. They're trying to scam you for every little last dollar. It's like, y'all are $1 billion companies. Y'all are multi-million dollar companies and trying to scam the regular people. It's sad. And now with Trump removing protections and removing so many consumer protections, it feels like it's only gotten worse. It feels like your likelihood of getting scammed is going up. And America, even the American dream right now, feels like a scam. It's like you're supposed to believe, oh, you go to college, you do this and that, you do everything right, and then you don't get the American dream that you were promised. And this is like a trickle down scam of all the other scams that are going on right now. And I don't know if it's because of the economy or what, but it seems like businesses are trying to get everything they can out of people. Now, maybe the people are scamming the businesses and being, you know, not good customers at the same time. So I don't know where the pressure is coming from, but it feels like we're just in a scam society right now. Is that just me? Is it me or does
Nah, I'm not doing car loans no more. It's over for that. You gotta save up and just buy a car cash. That's it.
What up? It's your girl Carmel, and it's story time. Okay, so just come along with me on this journey because this journey is about the American dream. That dream they told us all about when we was little. I'm gonna crack that bad boy wide open because right now I'm so tired of hearing Mr. Orange get on TV and tell me how we doing so well. I'm tired of him utilizing the middle class people as his spokesmodels for making it in America. We got the home, you have the car, you have the family, you have the job, you're working, you're doing all of that. But he don't want to pull the covers back to understand that we don't get no help from America for doing that. That's what we did. We did that. And right now you playing with our money that we give to the government
Sell your
in
toys
excess
and buy a
because we pay
house.
higher in taxes than some of the richest billionaires. The middle class does. Isn't that fun? We pay the higher taxes than they do. Take home the least amount of money, but on paper it
That
says we
is
make the most, so
great.
we get no help. So I'm gonna just share some of my life with you, and I want to see if there's anybody else that's been caught up in this middle class bubble that busted their butt, fought hard to get in, and now you gotta even kill yourself to stay in. Because the option is only up or down, and up is hard because they don't
Work
give you enough money
yourself
to
to
invest
death.
and do the things you need. Or if you got this, you know, Hugh, you're not getting looked at that much by the financial institutions to really help you out. Because if you look at my story, I can tell you that I don't know how and why, but their excuses. We don't give working capital. We're not doing that right now. That was the excuse every single time. So come along with me for story time, because I got some nuggets to share. Okay, so let me give you an example. Me and my husband, we started a trucking business in 2021. Should have been lucrative. Should have had all of the best things. It was wrapped up in a bow. Me and my husband, we got amazing credit. We had almost topping 800 scores, people. So we're like, this should be smooth selling, right? Listen, honey. Okay? When you think it's just a win-win. You think I'm going to slide in. I'm just going to slide in the game. As they've got to give it to me. They've got to. There's no way. Like, I checked all of the boxes. And y'all know I still got denied. How do you still get denied when you have almost an 800 credit score? You are making money. You're generating income. But as a business, you have losses to write off. It's very expensive to run. They don't think about that. But that's how they play you. By not giving you no money, they can pick and choose who they give the money to. Because guess what? They could just say, oh, this is what it looks like on your balance sheet. Well, you know that we have to pay for everything out of pocket. Nobody gave me nothing. And I'm definitely going to write it all off. Why? Because nobody gave us nothing. Y'all gonna want to tax us to high heaven. I've been paying higher taxes since I was 19 years old. Since I was 19. I've been in a high tax bracket for no reason. And then after you make me pay those taxes, then you tax me on the taxes. Then you tax me at the store. Like, I can't get a break. I can't catch a break. Like, not at all. There's no breaks that I've ever caught in America. Where's my break? Where's the break at? Working in finance, I've learned a lot. I have been very, very efficient with money and very, very smart. I've been saving in my retirement since I was 19 years old. I mean, I had self-discipline at 19 to say, just put a little away and they go match. That's free money, girl. That's game. Okay? I learned that at a very young age because I pay attention. And my mama taught me well as well. She was on it, right? So I'm giving you guys this as an American that I say I had a leg up. I'm gonna go ahead and give that credit because my mom educated me. She did. She did an awesome job. By the time I was 7 years old, I knew how to pay bills, write checks, and do a job interview. Okay? Yes, at 7. So I say I have a leg up. And with that leg up, I still dealt with these situations.
You're gonna have to. That's just part of it. It's crazy because we always think when we see people having their own businesses, we always think that they just balling, and like that's not like that thing too is like 50-50. Cause like me just working in La Mesa, which is like, you know, it's like it's white people like that have their own businesses, and you hear them all talk, like all the business owners, they get together, you know, because I worked at the flower shop. They get together and they like kind of had conversations with each other, and like you hear them saying they barely keeping their business afloat. Like, you know, you had one person who he had a gym, The other one, I forgot what that kind of store was. And then you had the other lady, she had a restaurant. But she had a restaurant for, I think, like 7 years now. Like, which she bought it back. She was running it for like 10 or 15 years. She sold it, and then she bought it back from the person that she sold it to. But you hear them even talking like, dang, it's kind of hard right now. Some of them barely making it like that. Then they started going up on their rent, to rent the building that they're like, first, like I'm talking about, my boss was paying, I think, like $2,500, $3,000 for like the 2-3 years that she was there running that business. When she left and somebody else took it over, they were paying $5,000. I think it was like $5,500, and I'm like going, dang, like that shit went skyrocketed. It went through the roof, and it's like, dang, you figure you paying like $5 racks for the building. We ain't there, and that ain't got nothing to do with electricity and water, depending on if you got freezers and different things like that, bro. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, and a lot of them, you hear them complaining about it, but they don't shut that business down though, because that's your job right there.
Man, honestly, fuck the American dream. The American.
That's it though. That's it. I'm about to go shoot some hoop with my son, man. Why? The sun is still up. But I thank y'all for joining and not getting hella crazy in the chat. You feel me? It's like, it's cool when you have your back and forth, your disagreements, but it don't got to be crazy. Like, we don't got to be disrespectful to each other. Like, some people going to come in and do that, but it's cool that y'all wasn't like that today, like yesterday, and day before yesterday. No, I'm just playing. But I thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a beautiful day, because, be outside. It's nice outside right now, all right? Did they own homes? My grandparents did. I think a lot of our grandparents own homes. I know you talking to Woken One, but I think a lot of our grandparents did. Man, who's that, Master Creator? Oh, y'all talking to Rick. Y'all was talking back and forth. I barely could see it. I was trying to still run the video, but yeah. Peace, folks. Like Awoken One said, peace. All right, Master Creator, Awoken One, Rick, everybody that's